Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, Noodle here, and today, we're back in Testificadia, alright. I was like, why does this place look so different? I forgot that I like tore down a bunch of shit. Because we're gonna put down a bunch of these little houses. Lag. This is all due to my shitty internet. There's no blaming Strike for this one. My internet is doing fucking atrocious tonight, and I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. But yeah, we're just gonna have to make do, people. Make do with what we got. Alright, so I went ahead and last time we were talking, I went ahead and finished up my religious story of my journey through various different religions and stuff like that. A lot of the comments that I got from everybody seemed pretty awesome. It doesn't seem like anybody really got offended or anything like that, which is great, because that wasn't what I was trying to, to do. So it's cool that everybody, sat and listened to it with an open mind. And I'm glad that, if you learned something, you learned something. If you didn't, that at least you got entertained enough to watch the videos. Now, there was somebody who made an interesting comment, and I'm going to just go ahead and do a shout out to London Smith, I think. Yep, London Smith. Hi, how are you doing? You were probably wondering why you were the only person who commented and didn't get like a response back. Mostly because I felt like what you had to say I could kind of half cover in a video. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Pretty much, London Smith put out that he was atheist, and he felt like no religion out there was just for him, and yeah, not that they weren't right, it's just that they weren't for him, which completely understand. Absolutely, I do. Should we have torches on top of the houses? Nah, that looks tacky. But we can't have torches like around the houses, which is great. Ow. Oh, fucking lag, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, he said that he's an atheist. They didn't find anything specifically for him, which is fine, man. Sometimes that happens. And I was actually thinking about this the other day when I was talking to myself about these conversations. I talk to myself a lot. And it occurred to me that I didn't cover atheism at all. And that's kind of important because some people think that, atheism is no religion, but it in and of itself is sort of a religion as well. That doesn't explain it very well, but I mean, you got some of the most brilliant people in the world, the thinkers of today, the scientists, who prescribe to be atheists because they just don't believe in having a higher deity. Not that they don't want it, that they just don't believe in it. They think it's an opium for the people, and it's a use to control the population, which I agree. Oddly enough, as it is, for as religious as I am and for as much as I study it, I completely agree it is a means to let man control another man. And that's kind of what religion kind of boils down to, is a big mind control thing. And in fact, I had a really interesting conversation with somebody I worked with about this very same topic. We were talking about how some religions don't allow you to eat pork. One of them is Muslim. Another one is Jews. No pork, no piggy for you. And there was a big wonder why. And it's very easy back in the day. If you're trying to control a large population and you see that people are eating pork and then they're just fucking dying from it, just to say, hey, you guys can't eat no more pork. And people are going to be like, why? Why can't I eat pork? And the easiest way just to get people to do what you want is just to be like, well, because God said so. And you can't do it or you're going to burn in hell. And that's the way it's going to be. Is that necessarily true? Probably not. You're probably not going to burn to hell if you eat a little bit of pork every now and then, if you enjoy the bacon. But they didn't understand the dangers of not properly cooking meat. So, I mean, without understanding it, all they saw was that people ate it and died. And that probably goes the same with shellfish, with Christianity and Catholicism. You're not supposed to eat shellfish. And there you go. Like, it's probably due to the fact that dietary habits back in the day were fucking terrible, and that people would often get sick and die. No fault, of course, to the piggy, but poor piggy is now, you can't eat pig. Which I guess is good for the pig, that you don't consume them. But, that's the way it is. I have no proof whatsoever to back up any of that, but I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. And there's a lot of things that you're not allowed to do via religion that can be led back to probably like health problems or things during the time period. And that it was just very easy to just say, you know what, God says that you can't do it, and just leave it at that. As opposed to trying to come up with a legitimate reason for why the population can't do it. Now, I've been staring at this fucking... Oh my god, this well, and this is like the biggest goddamn well in the world. We don't need it this big at all. In fact, I'm gonna make it much smaller. It's off center. It's very much just this monstrosity of a fucking well. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. Because I mean, I have a road that's 3 wide, and this thing is like 4 wide. It's not doing too well for my OCD. So we're gonna fix that. Yeah, and once again, I do apologize for the lag. It's my shitty internet. I can't even blame Strike Server this time. It's definitely all my fault. I tried to fix it. We did the whole quick fix. You just fucking unplug the router for a few seconds and let it reset and hope for the best. And yep, no good came from that. At least it's slightly better. Apparently we have somebody at the door. YouTube, if all of a sudden we go quiet, it's because I'm dead. But, of course, if that happens, then you wouldn't know, because then this video would never be published. Oh, it's just a neighbor of ours. With his puppy. Okay, so there we go. I'm not going to die. Yay! Awesome. All right, so fucking hell. Okay. And then kind of going along with it, atheists, how do I feel about it? I feel like a lot of atheists, I'm not going to say all, I'm not going to say a lot. I'm just going to say some loud atheists, I guess I should say. Are, in my opinion, just as bad as people who only know enough about the religion to use it as a weapon. And I use the example of the people who are using they only know the, not a man shall not lie with another man thing from the Bible, and that's the only thing they know. Yeah, there are atheists that are like that as well. And I think they give atheists a bad name. And it kind of like off-puts a lot of people to the whole atheist thing when you have fucking crazy people who don't know what the hell they're talking about now up front being like, I represent all of us. I will give you a great example. I myself don't believe in the traditional, God, like God and Jesus and blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not for me. And obviously, if you're atheist, you're not going to prescribe to that as well. Do I not have a bucket? I think I'm going to go make a bucket real quick. And you're not going to prescribe to that frame. Oh, Jesus, come on. You're not going to prescribe to that logic as well. However, I don't know if you guys know this, but on your money, on the bottom of it says "In God We Trust." You know that is a throwback to the traditions of the old ways that people in America were. We grew up as a religious state. Even though a lot of everybody was not religious, it's still the foundations of everything in America is based off of some religion or another. And so in the bottom of everything we put "In God We Trust." And does that necessarily mean that in biblical God we trust? No, it just means in a deity we trust. Well, there was a big argument. I was gonna make a bucket. There was a big argument a while back. I remember growing up hearing it about a bunch of atheists who were protesting that all the money that says "In God We Trust" should be changed because they don't believe in God. Okay. They had the big thing where, you know what, you shouldn't pray in school. Okay, I can semi-agree with that. And then they had the thing where it's like the Pledge of Allegiance shouldn't be said in school. Now, for those of you younger kids out there, you're probably like, what the fuck's the Pledge of Allegiance? You probably hear your parents bitching about it. The Pledge of Allegiance was this thing that you had to say in the beginning of school. Now, some of you older guys out there who remember doing it in elementary school and stuff will understand what it is. It's basically in the beginning of school, you would stand like at attention with your hand over your heart, and you'd be like, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Even baby girl knows it as well. Oh, come on. This lag is fucking terrible. I think I'm actually just completely fucking lagged out. Because I can't even open this box. Okay. Sorry everybody out there. Strike. Strike is just... Hang on, YouTube. Apparently Strike's server always fucking crashes every time he fucking he signs in or logs in for some reason, which is really shitty. So yeah, it kind of crashed the server, and now Strike is like apologizing profusely. Yeah, he says, "Ha, my bad." So he says, "My bad, YouTube." I don't know if he actually means that. He probably doesn't. Now I need to like find my timer again. This like completely fucked me up. All right, so just fucking restart. Is that how it goes? Okay, there we go. All right. So they went in and they were like, everybody has to stop saying the Pledge of Allegiance, because it says like God in it. It was like the most fucking ridiculous argument in the world. But nobody could really argue it, so now nobody can do the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, do I blame all atheists for this? No, of course not. It's just one of those things that's like, the people who bitch the loudest are the ones who get all the attention. Unfortunately, those people who bitch the loudest are usually in the minority of whatever fucking group they're in. Did I just not make it? There we go. Ugh, this fucking lag. So, like, the people who are, like, against gay marriage, they're most certainly not the majority of people who, you know, believe in God or who are Christian or Catholic. Those people are, like, in the minority. But they just fucking bitch the loudest, so everybody fucking listens to them. And then, of course, they make, you know, their people look fucking terrible. And the same thing goes with atheists. Like, dude, I'm pagan. I don't believe in God. And there is a point where I'm like, you know what, maybe you shouldn't fucking enforce, you know, praying in school. But at the same time, dude, I have no fucking problems with there being, you know, in God we trust on money, or, you know, under God, indivisible, because it's not saying because of Christian God. It's saying under God, whatever God that is. And even if you don't have a God, it's still tradition. And I hate to be the guy that's like, but it's just tradition, because, I mean, that could be used as a cop-out as well, but it's true. It's always been that way, and you're changing it for no reason, because you want to, you know, fucking feel like you're important. It's just really annoying. It really is. And that's kind of my harp with bad atheists. But they kind of give all atheists a really bad name. It's sort of like the kids who go and sacrifice like fucking like babies or like little animals at graveyards and call themselves Satanists. Like, they're not Satanists. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. But they're giving all Satanists a bad name. And yeah, you can do that. And I don't know. It's just it just annoys me to no fucking end that happens. Now, how am I gonna put this? For the most part, from what I've seen, people who normally prescribe to atheism just don't believe in God or don't believe in a higher deity because they believe that it's full of shit, and that it's an opiate of the masses, and on top of it all, that they believe in a higher power than religion. And you might be thinking, well, what's higher than God? Well, science. They believe in science and logic, and if I can hold it, touch it, taste it, feel it, then it is real. Believing that there's an invisible man in the sky watching everything you do at all times, to them is illogical. It doesn't make sense. There's no reason why it should make sense. The only reason why it would make sense is if you're fucking crazy, or if you are so blind to what's going on in the real world that you have to make up these stories to make yourself feel better. That's coming off like really, really harsh, but it's just, if you look at it from a logical standpoint, it makes sense. And in fact, a lot of our science, our technology, our medicine has advanced tenfold because of these atheist people who take religion out of an equation and put in, I hate to say logic, but logical thinking, I think is the better term. Now, does that mean that they're always right? No, of course not. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're always wrong either. I mean, this is getting a little rambly because it's kind of like one of those touchy subjects that I kind of feel passionately about. And it's hard for me to put into words, like, feelings I have about this. I'm just going to straight up say I have no problem with atheists. I think they're awesome. And they've advanced technology and science tenfold. And without them, we would be nowhere near where we are today. And it's really cool that they have this kind of viewpoint. But at the same time, it's kind of sad. And not sad as in I feel pity for them. It's sad as in that they don't have this concept that there's something after life. For the most part, the afterlife thing, like after you die, that's pretty much a religious standpoint. And most atheists that I've talked to believe that when you die, nothing happens. You're dead. You shut off. It's like going to sleep, but you never wake up, and that's it. Your neurons shut down, and there's nothing. There's not even black emptiness, because you have to have consciousness and knowledge to understand that there's black emptiness, and they have nothing. And call me an idiot, call me fanciful, but I would rather go out and have the last flicker of life in my body just dissipate, and me still have false hope that there's going to be something better on the other side, than to be convinced from day one that there's not going to be anything there. And I don't know, one of the most terrifying things that I can possibly think of is what it will be like to die. And I think the scariest thing that I perceived from it is nothingness. Just nothing. It ends. And there's nothing beyond it, and it's just, there's not even a black void. You just cease to exist. That thought is incredibly scary to me. I mean, just think about it for a second. What if tomorrow you just phase out of existence? Your entire life, everything that you've experienced, you sitting there in front of your computer listening to me, is gone forever, and there's no one there to fucking remember it, and you just cease to exist. It's a really fucking bleak thought, and I think it gives humans hope to think that there is this afterlife, that there's this other place that we go to where our memories and our emotions and our feelings and everything can move on with us. And I have to think that it's just a comforting notion. Where am I going to put this? I guess I'll put it here. It's just a comforting notion that there is this other world. And unfortunately, atheists don't believe in that. That other world, at least. But I think that's all I have to say about it. I kind of rambled on about it long enough. I got about a minute left. But I did kind of want to bring up the issue and go ahead and give a shout out to London Smith, who has a pretty pimp name, by the way. Pimp name, good job. If that is actually your real name. Oh, it's fucking lag. Open the damn door. And yeah, that's it. I think that's all I have to say about atheism. When we come back, I do want to kind of talk about some other stuff. Speaking of atheists, talk about some stuff that I learned. We'll talk about quantum physics. Why not? Because fuck it. Noodle has nothing better to do than to talk about fucking quantum physics. And it's a topic that I really like. Lots of theories, lots of concepts, lots of things to think about. And I kind of like this. I kind of like that we can mindlessly, create small little houses in Minecraft like this. And then talk about, the bigness of the universe. And get these kind of your brain cells working a little bit. So thank you for all your comments. Thank you for all your suggestions. If you have more topics that you'd like me to talk about, then by all means put them down in the description. I'm always super down to talk, especially suggestions from you guys. So thanks, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out.